Junior year, I'd heard about you through my housemate, Christina, and her fiance at that time, JP, now husband. And they had told me about you because you were friends with JP and Christina, and they told me that they wanted to like match make me with somebody, and they thought of you, but they thought you were too old. And I was like, yeah, maybe that is too old. And but they're like, you should just still like get in contact with him because he teaches here at Santa Clara, and he is very Catholic, and so he might be helpful when it comes to the College Catholics Club, which I was involved in at that time.
And they had mentioned you to me as well, but I hadn't really registered it much in my head because I knew you were a Santa Clara student. Yeah, in my mind that meant, yeah, obviously I'm not gonna date someone who's a Santa Clara student.
Justin told me we're gonna meet this teacher who wants to help us out with College Catholics, and he's very dedicated to the faith, so we went to meet you. I knew it was you, the one that Christina like mentioned, and so I kind of had that filed in the back of my head, but didn't really think about it much. And got there, met you. I thought you were cute, but I kind of like it was nothing more than that. And then we just became friends, and I noticed right away how devoted you were to the faith and how serious you were about helping us.
Obviously, the first thing I noticed about you was how beautiful you were. I was very captivated by you, but I think one of the other first things I noticed about you was just how well we worked together.
Yeah.
And even being very, very different as people, how we fit together really well, and could get things done in a really great way. Yeah.
I agree.
Do you remember what day we met?
No, I have to look at my calendar.
Yeah.
I think it was
Was it the 13th of May?
It was.
The 21st.
It might have been like the 6th or something. It was like that first weekend of May. Right before winter break started,
Yeah.
I realized I had formed a crush on you.
And I think I had started to form a crush on you, maybe even a little sooner than that, maybe even over that summer. But still, there was always that mental block of knowing, since you're going in, you were a junior at the time and just finishing your junior year, so knowing that if anything were to happen between us, it would have to be at least a year, if not more. So
yeah, once I established I had a crush on you, I knew that. I was going off telling all my friends, my mom and my sisters, that this is terrible, because this is so annoying, because this is a very unrealistic situation. I was like, look at this email from Professor
Do you remember what it said?
It was like, you were just telling me about how, I don't even know what. Were you telling me about, you were telling me about something and added in unnecessary details about your like weekend and how you went climbing with Jeff, knowing that I climbed. And so it's like, I think he's trying to do something.
I forget whether it was late December or early January, where I was on a date with a woman. Like, I think it was maybe a second date, and thinking, I think this is a perfectly fine woman, she's a good woman, but I'd much rather have to wait a year to be with Julia than to have to marry this woman who's in front of me. And that was a big turning point for me, where I realized, oh, there's something real.
And so I told my mom that this is driving me crazy and I couldn't do anything about it. So then my mom gave me advice, really good advice, to let it go and to pray that God would put it on your heart to say something if it was necessary, if it was meant to be. And so then I let it go, and I was able to let it go. So much so that I kind of, I got over it. And yeah, I like was convinced he didn't like me and I just had to move on, so I kind of did. And then a few months later.
Was that around January?
I think it was like January, yeah, pretty much.
One is funny because that's around the time when I was starting to realize, oh, I gotta stop dating other people because of what's going on with Julia.
You were planning on asking me out after graduation.
And I said it like a business proposal.
Yes, it sounded very professional. You're like, these are the reasons why I think we are a good fit. It felt like agony to like wait. You told me 2 months before.
Yeah.
That was a long time. So.
But providential time, because you had already started to move on. Right?
I mean, yeah,
so,
but.
Like a lot of my most vivid memories of you and of us together are from that time period. When we were at XLT at one of the adoration nights, and seeing a bunch of your friends come in halfway through and seeing the way that you would get up and go greet them, and the affection with which you would greet them and give them hugs. And I just remember thinking how very blessed it must be for anyone to have Julia in their life, and how very blessed her children are.
Oh my, this is all at once you thought of.
I did. It was a long adoration.
Okay. Yeah.
So then first date at the table.
The table.
I remember being so thrilled and grateful and happy and excited when we could just sit next to each other too. Like sitting on the bench after when we were doing geocaching after the table and just like having our legs brush up against each other.
It's a fun date. You planned a good one. With geocaching and everything. That was good.
Yeah, it was a good date. Then we went on 1 or 2 more dates, and then you graduated, and then moved down
we
here.
forgot an important detail.
Yeah.
So on the way back from our first date, you pulled out, out like a CD, like, cause of course, you're very anti-technology. So you had CDs, so you had CDs for me to pick out for the music on the way home. And so it's like, I didn't recognize a lot of them, I think. And I think you had, the only one I think I really recognized was the Ed Sheeran Divide album. And it was and it was a very special album because when that song came out, which I think was like, I was in 8th grade or a freshman in high school, and like I really loved the song Perfect, which now I think it's like everyone loves it. And so, but I loved it, and I was like, oh my gosh, like God, could you play this song at some point at some date once it's like the guy, like the one, like so I know it's him. And I mean, I remembered that promise, but also I was like, oh, it's okay if it doesn't happen. Like I won't take it that seriously. And so I didn't want to like say anything, but I was like, this is the only album I recognize here. And so we pulled it out and put it in, and you said, oh, let's skip to track 5. Whatever it was, yeah. And it was that song. Yeah. So, yeah.
And I've loved that song for a long time. I have vivid memories of singing it with an old man at my parish, Our Lady of Peace. Whenever he'd see me, he'd always start singing Perfect, and we'd sing it together. So.
Yeah, good song. Yeah. You came down to LA for the summer so we could start our relationship in person, and you stayed with the Zion guys at the Zion house.
Yeah, it was such a blessing to get to live here for the summer and get to stay in that house where I had other really good Catholic men to spend time with whenever I'd come back from a long day, spend time with you and your family. When do you think you knew that you wanted to marry me?
Oh, since the beginning. Like, I think I had a sense in the beginning that I knew you so well by the time we started dating, like, that I already knew how great of a man you were. That, like, this is, like, the type of man I would want to marry. It just came down to all these other chemistry things that needed to work out and, like, logistical things. And so I was already, if everything else works out, I would love to marry this man. So, yeah.
I think I was the same way with you. Especially early on, I wouldn't let myself have the thought of thinking, oh yeah, I'm gonna marry Julia, because I knew it would be imprudent to make that decision so early on. But even from the start, I think it was very different from all the other people I was going on dates with. I remember there was a moment when I was at my brother Dylan's wedding, and I was talking with my mom afterwards and telling her about you and about the fact that I hadn't even been on a date with you, but I was really excited about you. And I remember stopping her and saying, no, but Mom, trust me. Like, Julia's different. This is different.
Yeah, it felt different.
The weekend of the proposal, I was maybe more nervous than I'd been for almost anything else in my life. So I wasn't scheduled to visit that weekend, right?
Yeah.
So as far as you knew, I was just teaching up in Santa Clara. But I wanted to do a surprise visit so I could actually throw you off. Oh, but even before then, I threw you off by shaving my beard. So I knew that you knew it wasn't going to happen in the next week or two.
Yeah.
If I shaved my beard off. So I decided to just shave my beard off and then change my mind and propose to you clean shaven. Right? So I shaved my beard off while you're there in Santa Clara to throw you off the trail. Then start planning the proposal, and all the details of it immediately after that, during that coming week.
The morning you would propose, I'd gotten my nails done thinking it was for the following week. So it's still perfect.
Was that Gabriella's instigation?
Yeah.
She made sure you got your nails done before it was gonna
I think honestly it was me. And she says that she was like, you didn't do it on your own. I was the one that was trying to inspire you to get your nails done that Saturday. And then right before, they gave me the letter. And as
How
soon
did they
as
give it to you?
they just gave it, everyone was in the kitchen and Victor and Sophia were like, and so I was like, okay. And I just thought it was from the mail, but then I realized it had no address on it. So then I opened it and by that point, I think I figured it out. And it would be a scavenger hunt and you left clues around my house, one at Old Albany Park where we've done lots of hikes, and then finally in San Fernando Mission where a lot of my family got married. And
instead of finding a note there, you found me.
Yes. I figured that's where you were going to propose.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. It was a
When
beautiful
did you
spot.
know that the proposal was happening?
The moment I opened the letter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I started to cry. And then you told me to get ready. Yeah.
That was one of the best decisions in the notes, I think, was making sure I gave you time to get ready.
Yes. I think maybe I would have been able to figure it out, but that was so good that you timed it to give me space or time to get ready. Yeah. And then once I got there, you gave me a playlist to listen to on my drive there, which is also a very romantic touch. And then I got there, the lady was like, oh, you're meeting someone here. I think so. And then I was so nervous that I couldn't let go of my rosary, and I walked into the church and I walked straight into a quince.
Because I had planned lots of things in advance, but I'd forgotten to check whether there was actually anything happening in the church at the same time that we were meeting.
So I walked into a quinceañera and then I found you in one of the pews. So it's like, okay, I guess maybe he's on proposing. We're attending a quinceañera together. And then once they were processing out, they definitely looked at us like, are we supposed to know you?
Yeah.
And we're like, yeah. We finished praying. You led me out into the side courtyard where Bob Hope is buried. And right beside Our Lady of Hope, well, you left a little trail of buds, and then you knelt down and you proposed. And I cried a lot. Yeah. And then I saw Alicia was peeking out of the trash can. She was the photographer. She was taking photos. And then we did a little photo shoot after. We were so happy.
I think that was one of the first times that both of us cried together at the same time. Because we both will cry a lot depending on the setting, but I think there'd been lots of moments when you were crying and not me. Yeah. And then I were crying and not you. But that was one of the first where we cried together.
Yeah, that was good. That was sweet. Yeah.
And then an easy engagement with no troubles or crosses to bear, and then getting married tomorrow.
Yep. No. But yeah. But no. Yeah. I love you. Okay.